What is up, Thin fans? So I wasn't expecting to make a video today. Tomorrow's video is going to be about free agency and who I think the Dolphins should target, or, you know, just my mentality on the way the Dolphins are going to target free agency. But there was a few things that happened today that I was like, I gotta make a video. So that's why you're getting this raw, uncut video from me. So today, essentially, the media sat down and talked with Patrick Graham and Chad O'Shea, our defense and offensive coordinators. So I have, behind this camera, I have things that they said that I find very interesting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read off what they said, and then I'm gonna give you guys my opinion on it. So the one thing that Chad O'Shea said is, when you have multiple offenses, it requires the players to step more time in preparation. We're doing what's best for the offense and what's best for the team. So now, what I'm taking from that is, I don't know if they're going to be running multiple offenses. I don't know if he's just going to stick with one offense, because he's saying it's going to, you know, you have to prepare more. I can't speak, and it takes more time for that. So I think they're going to stick with one type of offense. Now I'm going to talk about defense in a few seconds, because there was talks from Patrick Graham about the type of defense they're going to run, but Chad O'Shea says that, you know, with multiple offenses, it takes more time to prepare. So, you know, look for more of like an I forms, a single set on offense, not meaning like just I form or just shotgun, but not a hybrid on offense. Then he says, we are going to use every strength they have and identify it. I identify those strengths and put that into action. So he's essentially talking like a generic offensive coordinator. He's saying, I'm going to find the strengths of the offense and we're going to play on it. That's what essentially every offensive coordinator does and head coach does. He also says we're still in the process of evaluating our team. That's what he said about Ryan Tannehill. But then later on, he says something about Ryan Tannehill that I'm going to bring up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through trying to find the one thing he said about Ryan Tannehill that made me go, oh, okay, so I can't find it. But essentially he said that, you know, he has a certain skill set that he doesn't know if our quarterback for 2019 will have. Now, I can't find the tweet that I read it from, but he did say that. If you go back and watch, I'll link below the interview, because I know it's on the Miami Dolphins website, but he did say that the 2019 quarterback might not have the same skill set as Ryan Tannehill, which means Ryan Tannehill is gone. Again, I've talked about it thousands of times. You know, what are they going to do? They're going to cut him. They're going to trade him. I honestly think they're going to trade him. I think, you know, the Denver Broncos gave a fourth for Jay Cutler. Wow, I'm an idiot. They gave a fourth for Joe Flacco. I think the Dolphins can get a fifth for Ryan Tannehill. Joe Flacco's contract isn't guaranteed, and it's not as much as Ryan Tannehill. So I think the Dolphins could probably get a fifth for Ryan Tannehill, but we'll see more about that. And then Patrick Graham, when asked about a 3-4-4-3 defense, he says, I don't know, multiple. So he doesn't know what they're going to run yet, but he is going to, there is the potential of running a multiple defense, 3-4-4-3 defense. He also says, I can see how the sub package has grown more into base because it reflects what the offense is doing. You have to counteract it, meaning a lot of subs come in, out. You know, it really takes a hold of what the offense is doing, and especially what the defense is doing. When you got a lot of subs coming in, you have to be on your toes. So you have to be able to counteract it, and you have to be able, especially on defense, to have schemes and to have personnel and to have plays where, you know, the offense can change real quick and have subs in, and you don't need to sub in. You have players that can do both. You have players that can be multiple. So that's what I'm getting from when I'm, you know, from that statement. And then Patrick Graham also kind of like hinted at that Brian Flores is going to be calling defensive play calls, but then there was an update from Adam Beasley saying it's believed that Patrick Graham will be indeed the defensive play caller, which I would prefer. I kind of want Flores to just be the head coach right now. I kind of want Flores just to Stick with just coaching right now. Don't worry about the offense. Don't worry about the defense. Let those guys do their thing and just really coach the players, because he seems like he's that type of player. And then Omar Kelly was taking video of the press room and of pictures on the walls, and some pictures have been taken down. Now, some of those pictures are Ryan Tannehill, Adam Gase, Devontae Parker, and then some of those pictures that weren't up there, Cameron Wake, Xavier Howard, Rashad Jones, Juwan James. Now, does that mean that they're gone? No. Devontae Parker, Ryan Tannehill, and Adam Gase, that means that they're gone. But then he also showed a picture of the team, and Ryan Tannehill's like right in the middle of it. So it's like, this is all speculation when it comes to those pictures in the press room and around the building. But there's some guys missing, and I think the fact that Devontae Parker and Ryan Tannehill and Adam Gase are missing, I feel like you can assume that they're gone. So that's essentially, you know, some of the tidbits from Patrick Graham and Chad O'Shea, our new coordinators. It wasn't much, you know, you just get the idea that on defense, they're going to be very fluid. They're going to run multiple types of defenses. They're going to try to build their strengths through that and try to confuse the offense, especially with the flip, try to confuse the defense on offense and really try to play off of that mind game aspect of it. Chad O'Shea also talks about the run game. Patrick Graham and Chad O'Shea also really talked about the run game, stopping the run, you know, making sure that that's your first thing. If you know they're going to run, be able to stop it. If you don't know they're going to run, still be able to stop the run, especially on offense, to be able to run when you need to, which, thank you, Jesus. Like, that's been the one thing that just been driving me nuts. This is exactly what Patrick Graham had to say. I want to have a way to measure the toughness. Can we stop the run, and can we stop the run when we know they want to run? That's the biggest thing. You stop the run and you run the ball, and you'll win a ton of games. If the Dolphins could have done that this season, they would have been an 11-win team, but they just couldn't. We didn't have the talent on the defensive line or the offensive line, so the injuries killed us and everything. So that essentially is some of the takeaways from the interviews with the offense and defensive coordinator. Now, there were some transactions done today, especially on the Dolphins side. They signed 2 players. They signed defensive end Tank, wow, I'm going to say this name wrong, Carradine. He's a defensive end. He was a former, I think, 2nd-round pick with the Oakland Raiders. If I'm wrong, correct me. And cornerback Jomal Wiltz. And those guys are essentially going to help the practice squad and help OTAs and training camp their bodies. But Barry Jackson said, "Why, yes, there's something amusing that the fact that the first established veteran signed by Dolphins' new regime is named Tank." Again, playing into that whole, you know, propaganda of tanking. But they also talked about that you can already start to see the Dolphins are starting to work on that defensive end position and the whole defensive line position. That's what they're really going to be focusing on. So, you know, 2 new signings, and then also there was a ton of moves in the NFL. So I already made my list of some free agents that I'm looking at and I'm intrigued by. And again, I'll talk about it tomorrow because there's certain criterias for them. But I made this list yesterday. I did my research and everything yesterday. And then today, the Detroit Lions cut Glover Quinn, safety, who's a big name out there. The Buffalo Bills cut tight end Charles Clay, which cracks me up because there's that narrative out there that whenever a Dolphin player leaves, now I'm talking drafted, homegrown Dolphin, not a free agent who comes in and then leaves. So, because you can look at Ndamukong Suh, he didn't do great with the Rams as well as he did with the Dolphins. But I'm talking homegrown talent that has left. Lamar Miller, Olivier Vernon, you know, that have left, that have done better. Jay Ajayi, all that stuff. Charles Clay didn't. The Buffalo Bills top-ended his contract so the Dolphins couldn't match it because we tendered him and we let him go. And he hasn't done anything with the Buffalo Bills. Charles Clay reeled in $33.5 million over 4 years for the Bills. combining for 178 receptions, 9 touchdowns across 44 games. Now, I don't have the stats and everything up here to pull it up and compare it to when he was with the Dolphins, but he didn't do as well with the Bills as he did with the Dolphins. And also, another name that was cut today, today, is linebacker Brandon Marshall from the Denver Broncos was cut. So now there's another linebacker in the pool. So again, like I said, I made my list last night before all these cuts happen. Cuts are going to start happening. Then you have the combine where a lot of moves and talking is going to happen. A lot of cuts are going to happen. Trades are going to happen. So my free agent video tomorrow is going to be one of many. Let's just say that. It's just the tip of the iceberg, where I'm essentially going to be talking about who I'm looking at, why I'm looking at them, and why I think the Dolphins will look at them. But that is the video. I'm sorry, guys, no comment for the day, because, again, this is straight from the source. I don't have the comments up, and it would take me a good 10-15 minutes to read through them and pick one of your guys' comments, and I'm not going to bore you guys with that. But do comment below, because your comment in this video is going to be for tomorrow's video comment of the day. So be sure to comment below. Let me know what you think about what our offense and defense coordinator had to say. Let me know what you guys think about the pictures that were up and or not up in the presser room and around the office. Let me know what you think about the 3 cuts that I just mentioned: Glover Quinn, Charles Clay, Brandon Marshall. Linebacker Brandon Marshall from the Broncos, not wide receiver Brandon Marshall. Let me know what you guys think of those cuts, the 2 new signings, defensive end Tank and cornerback Wiltz. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. But the video is coming out tomorrow. My take on free agency, like I said, is going to be one of many. I might do different parts of it because things are going to change. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up. Because when stuff like this happens, I think it's a waste of time for me to pull the camera out, edit, and do all that stuff, and you guys just want the source. And if you look behind me, there's the bookshelf, but then here's the Dolphins corner. You got the flag up there and everything. I'm gonna put more over there and stuff like that. But like I said, give this video a thumbs up if you like stuff like this. Subscribe. Tomorrow's video, free agency, I got a ton planned for that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy, fins up.